multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless, we will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where?
Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. I'm trying out the 3 commercials on y'all because I know for some of y'all want to get straight to the content, so I'm trying to figure out how to compromise and make it do what it do. But yes, indeed, we are here for the 31st day of the Diddy trial. Jury instructions were handed out today. We got updates, got dynamic video, we have articles. So with that being said, higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is a me. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Rather, let's get to the getting and doing what we do. So NBC News is not really on with updates, but here it is here from USA Today. So P. Diddy trial live updates. Jury sends notes to judge, says one juror may not follow instructions. So right here, this story contains graphic descriptions that some readers may find disturbing. Sean D. Combs' fate is in the hands of 12 jurors as they deliberate a verdict in the embattled hip-hop mogul's criminal trial. The jury, which has heard graphic testimony on Combs' alleged abuses from more than 30 witnesses, gathered again in Manhattan Court on June 30th, that's today, to begin deliberations following the completion of closing arguments. One strange moment surprised court watchers in the afternoon. The jury sent a note to Judge Aaron Siren saying they were concerned a juror would follow the procedural instructions they were given at the start of the process. The judge sent the jury back to work and then replaced the juror for alternate. It wasn't immediately clear if the moment was a speed bump in the deliberations or a sign of more issues to come. Combs' lawyer, Mark Affelio, on June 27th, framed the case as a tale of two trials. He argued that the case is about love, jealousy, and money, not trafficking and racketeering. He accused the government of putting on a show to target a wealthy celebrity. Well, I mean, he was the leading star in this show, if you want to take it that. And Fanello claimed prosecutors destroyed the Grammy-winning rapper's consensual sexual lifestyle into criminal acts. A witness spoke of the successful Black entrepreneur as a respected and generous figure. Meanwhile, prosecutor Maureen Coleman returned to the floor after Fanello's closing argument to present the government's rebuttal, focusing on previous remarks on Combs' former girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie, from Juror 5. Mr. Fanello suggested Cassie was the winner of a prize. Black eyes, a gash in her head, getting urinated in her mouth. How can anyone think that's a prize? That's ridiculous. That part right there. How can that be a prize for any woman in a relationship? And guess what? Because you made through all the pain, suffering, and strife, guess what you get? You get black eyes, a gash in your head, and urinate in your mouth. Like, what? This is not The Price is Right. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. What the hell? I can't. So Combs, 55, was arrested in September and charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pled not guilty. Jurors asked questions about drug accusation, wrapping up first day of deliberations. As jury deliberations continued into the afternoon, jurors sent a question to the judge about how they should assess the drug distribution allegation against Combs. Sumerian will get an answer to the jurors in the morning as they adjourned for the day and return to their homes. Diddy starts to trial the celebrities mentioned in court before his precipitous downfall. Combs was a pop culture supernova with innumerable stars in his orbit. That's a little much, but I get your point. He was very well known. Throughout nearly 2 months of testimony, attorneys and witnesses alike have name-checked so celebrities as they have excavated nearly 2 decades of Combs' apparent criminal past. They recounted nights of partying with Prince, Wonder, Muhammad Ali, and Rhea Ora, some of which ended in Combs allegedly assaulting his girlfriends or forcing them into freak-offs with escorts. Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross were referenced in court as defendants. And Suge Knight were all subjects of Combs' ire, while Usher and Danny Kane's Don Richard, and also from Dirty Diddy Money, Don Richard as well, were both on the sidelines of allegedly violent incidents. Read more for some of the most notable A-listers to find their way into the Diddy trial. Jury says one juror may not be able to follow instructions. The jury asked Miriam for guidance as to what to do about one juror who they warned may not be able to follow the judge's instructions about the law. The note, which Miriam read aloud in court, read in part, "We have a juror 25, who we are concerned cannot follow your honor's instructions." The note did not elaborate on which instructions the juror cannot follow. The jurors are anonymous. After discussing the note, prosecutors and defense lawyers, Sumerian said he would send the note back to the juror, reminding them of their obligations, but take no further action now. Juror 25 described himself during jury selection on May 5th as a 51-year-old veterinarian who lives in Manhattan with his domestic partner and a freelance graphic designer. The juror says he has a doctorate in molecular biology and neuroscience, enjoys nature documentaries, opera, and hiking. So I'm wondering, was it something in the instructions that might have been unclear, right? Because they just talked about how do we handle the drug distribution charge or potential, the criminality of that. So maybe it was some type of criminality in the instructions that maybe they didn't understand. Now, if that's the case, then okay, everybody needs to be one mind, one heart, one sound, right? So, yes, indeed. There could Diddy go to prison? Yes. I love the simplicity of USA Today. Could Diddy go to prison? Yes. If convicted on the racketeering charge, Combs could face life in prison, while the statutory minimum sentence for sex trafficking is 15 years, and for transportation engaged in prostitution is a maximum of 10 years. And a mixed verdict, convicted on some but not all charges, can add up to any number of years. With racketeering, all the jury has to do is believe in two of the charges, and they can go to jail, wait for life. Now, of course, that's up to Judge R. Surin to throw the book out. So really, the jury will decide the fate, and then the judge will decide the terms. So there it is. Judge in Diddy case outlines racketeering. The longest section of instructions given to jurors centered around Combs' first charge, racketeering. Smirian went through the 8 accusations included in the charge, which fall under the umbrella of kidnapping, arson, bribery, possession with intent to distribute narcotics, sex trafficking, witness tampering, forced labor, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution. In order to find Combs guilty, the jury must believe he committed 2 of the 8 crimes, Smirian said. While he explained the drug element of count 1, he listed off multiple types of drugs, including methamphetamine, oxycodone, and ketamine, before pausing and saying, this long word that you see here, which drew laughs from the courtroom. That's good that they were able to laugh, because this was a very, very heavy trial. Judge explained sex trafficking and prostitution charges. For Combs' sex trafficking charge, Smirian said the jury will need to find that there was a threat of psychological, financial, or reputational harm against the rapper's alleged victims. I think that is very clear to see. The judge defined a criminal sex act as something being given in exchange for the sexual act. That thing doesn't always have to be money. He clarified it can be an object or thing. So, like, giving them a place to live, an allowance for them to, well, not allowance, but how they can look with a makeup team and stuff. The access that they have to Hollywood. Yeah. The sex act doesn't need to have actually happened as long as the intent was clear. There was exchange of money or other perks. That's there. Diddy stares down jurors as they receive jury instructions. Combs' sex crimes trial is now in the hands of 12 jurors as they kick off their deliberations. There's no time frame for their process, and any verdict must be unanimous. You can see it's long, but I'm going to try to make it interesting while I'm reading it. Smirian said before launching into instructions for the panel. He explained that if they believe Combs is guilty of his charges, it must be beyond a reasonable doubt. Combs could be seen putting on glasses and looking directly at the jury box as they received instructions. He leaned back in his chair, legs crossed. Combs' family could see it in the front row. His stars could be seen whispering to each other. After a marathon Diddy trial, judge thanked jurors and lawyers. Before the jury started deliberations, Smirian dismissed the 6 alternate jurors who have attended the trial daily, just in case the juror had to bow out or be removed from the proceedings. The judge thanked the alternate jurors, adding that they would get his personal number. If you have any questions, if you would like to tour the courthouse, anything I can do. I like the fact that the alternative jurors still got love, grace, and space, and they were respected for still coming every single day, Monday through Friday. Because here's the thing, even though we didn't get to see the alternate jurors, that doesn't mean that they did not do work, right? And so I'm sure that the mainstream media will also be talking to those alternative jurors. I'm sure that there will be a sit down 2020 deep dive interview. Shout out to Barbara Walters. I'm sure there will be a deep dive interview with ABC News, NBC News, CBS News for sure, right? I mean, TMZ could even do an exclusive interview with one of the jurors. I mean, at this point, anybody is fair game. Any outlet is fair game, and any juror is fair game. So, Sumerian also thanked attorneys on both sides. The case was really exceptionally tired. He said, thanking the prosecutor. Hang on. The prosecution or the See, here's the thing, right? Procedural, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Procedural and defense teams for letting younger lawyers take on substantial parts of the case is vital to the profession. He said while the jury deliberates, Combs remained in jail. He had a request for books he could bring with him, though the specific works weren't released publicly. So this is the thing that I love about our show. We are in your face with it, right? And so that was a real moment, okay? Because I was trying to think like procedural in that vein of basically the prosecution, right? So there it is there. And here are Diddy's daughters. They are all there. These daughters walked out, I think, the first day of the trial, but they came back to see their dad there for sure. On what could be potentially the last day of seeing their dad, potentially. Diddy trial jury can't watch news research case online. Sumerian reiterated that jurors cannot conduct any independent research, including going online, watching the news while they are deliberating. Jurors should not judge Combs for deciding not to testify. He added, remember at all times, you are not partisan, you are judges of facts, Sumerian said. And that is facts. I do like the fact that he said that, listen, don't get into the rhetoric. You are judges of the facts that were presented in the courtroom, right? I like those. Skechers, they're a vibe sometimes. I like the design. All you gotta do is just slip these on, just go. I love me a good slip-on shoe. Okay, listen, shout out to Skechers. The jury was dismissed to deliberate at 11:30 a.m. There was a brief objection from prosecutors about evidence provided to the jury, specifically some BlackBerry messages. BlackBerry? Good damn, when was the last BlackBerry? Because I don't think BlackBerry's been out for a long time. And here it is here, right? So BlackBerry was like the first business phone, essentially. But yeah, I don't even think they make BlackBerries anymore. So like, now I'm sure, just because it's an older BlackBerry doesn't mean you can't update. Now, apparently, here is something new. It's a 2025 BlackBerry phone.
BlackBerry has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come back from the dead. Literally, the demand is there, and we want it. We absolutely want it. You bring me a new BlackBerry Bold right now, I will toss my iPhone and never use it again. And please don't make it and try to copy the iPhone or all the other crap phones that are out here. We don't need the full touch screen. We don't need all the stupid apps. In fact, we don't want them. I think we need a return to normalcy. I think that's what people are looking for. We don't want the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikTok. We don't want it all. We just want a normal phone that we can go online, check the scores of the game, get our emails done, got the nice little keypad there, bring it back. Strike while the iron is hot, because if you don't, you're gonna miss it and somebody else is gonna take you over, like what happened last time. I think as a society, people in general have sort of had it with the social medias of the world. With 18 million apps, we don't want it.
That is true. There's
Couple
a
things
lot of
though. Make sure it's got good Netflix access, and make sure it's got a hell of a camera. That's what we want. The people have spoken. Come on, BlackBerry. Don't let us down.
I think that was a reasonable request. I really do. I like what he had to say there about how there are 18 million apps. I mean, it's an exaggeration, but he is right in so many words that there are so many apps these days that it is beyond ridiculous of literally the storage on your phone is mostly apps, right? So pictures and everything else, that's, oh my God. So with that being said, The jury was dismissed to deliberate at 11:30 a.m. There was a brief objection from prosecutors about evidence provided to the jury, specifically some BlackBerry messages that they said they had subject leading lines that included one that read, "I'm so horny I can't concentrate," and others about Combs doing whatever he wanted sexually. The judge agreed that all subject lines in the evidence should be neutral. Wow. That was in your BlackBerry, bro? Ooh, Lord, you were really about the black of the berry, the sweet of the juice, huh, Diddy? Okay, all right. What happens next? Sumerian began delivering legal instructions to the jury in Manhattan Federal Court on June 30th. Once the judge finishes, the 12-member jury will begin deliberating. What is Diddy's net worth? Still wealthy, but now worth almost as half as much. In 2024, Forbes magazine estimated Combs' net worth at $400 million, a significant drop from its 2019 figure of $740 million. Both Combs and his team later claimed he was a billionaire, Forbes said, despite no documentation to back up the claim. According to publicly available documents and news reports, Combs' most valuable personal possession is likely his 17,000 square foot 10-bedroom mansion, appraised at more than $61 million in the Tony Bomby Hills section of Los Angeles. It was rated as a part of a probe and listed for sale last September. I don't think they've sold that home in the meantime between time. Diddy's lawyer encourages jurors to return him to his family, appealing to jurors as Combs' peers and praising the country's due process. Anfanella told the jury on June 27th, "Today, you guys are the United States of America. This is your house. I'm asking you to acquit Sean Combs." He added that Combs sits there innocent, return him to his family who have been waiting for him. He took aim at U.S. attorneys when he said the Cassidy lawsuit went out. These guys wanted to make a case because Sean Combs is not a real case. Sir, there was 6 weeks of testimony. It was a real case, sir. It was a real case for y'all because y'all had nobody who wanted to defend Diddy. Prosecutors say Diddy's exes, Cassie and Jane, former assistant B, have no reason to lie, contradicting Anfanella during the June 27th hearing. Comey said participation in Combs' alleged sexual performances was different from performances from the beach or lemonade. These women were awake for days, covered in oil, wearing 8-inch heels, often with a UTI, and having unprotected sex with strangers, she said. Oh, wow. What the defense is suggesting is that these women have lied to you repeatedly, Comey said, but these women have no reason to lie. They have no motive to lie at all. Comey also talked about the confusing feelings about untangling love and abuse, knowing victims often try to justify what happened to them. Finding meaning and happiness in trauma does not mean the trauma never happened, Comey said. It's healing. That is very factual, right? It's almost like if you're a kid and your mom and dad are fighting, it's like, did I do something wrong? No, you didn't do anything wrong. But because you feel the energy of them, it's like, well, maybe if I wasn't such a bad kid, they wouldn't be fine. But no, it's not that at all. It's just adults sometimes can't be adults, right? So that's that. Did Diddy's trial charges get dropped? No, none of the charges from Combs' federal indictment have been formally dropped. But in a June 24th letter to Judge Sumerian, prosecutors revealed that they are withdrawing some of their criminal allegations ahead of closing arguments. U.S. attorneys said they don't want jurors to consider their previous claims that Combs allegedly engaged in racketeering by attempted kidnapping in California and New York, attempting arson in California, aiding and abetting sex trafficking. The move was made as part of an effort to streamline the jury's instructions. Despite those tossed allegations, Combs' indictment accused him not just of attempting arson and kidnapping, but also committing these crimes outright as part of a criminal conspiracy. Is Diddy in jail? The disgraced music mogul is in custody, and despite repeated attempts at bail, 3 attempts at $50 million each. So basically $150 million that he's tried to put up to get out of jail. Has remained confined to the special housing unit in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. He has been in jail since his arrest on September 16th, 2024. Has the Diddy trial reached a verdict? No, they have not as of yet. No, a verdict has not been reached in the Combs criminal case after more than a month of hearing testimony from several Combs associates. The prosecution rested its case on June 24th. Meanwhile, Combs' lawyers rested their case in less than half an hour, with the defense opting not to call any witnesses to the stand. Although music moguls alleged abuse is at the center of the trial, Combs told the court that he would not testify. Closing arguments concluded June 27th. Jury deliberations are expected to begin Monday, June 30th, today, following instructions from Judge Marion. What the hell is that? I did not see that green thing. Okay, we saw all this. And no, we'll go back, y'all. Yeah, we saw all this. Is that there? Let's keep scrolling. That is Coca-Cola. That honey. Looks like some crystal something. I don't know what that is, but it looks crystallized. Pills found there. Pills. Now, that looks like a case, a briefcase of some kind. Oh, yeah, those are some drugs. Yep, those are some drugs. Yeah, look, it's the soundproofing of it all for me. Boots and phones. And then more pills. Okay. That green box was new to me. What is Combs charged with? Combs is facing federal sex crimes and trafficking charges in a spiraling case that has eroded his status as an hour player, kingmaker in the entertainment industry. He was arrested in September 2024 and later charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The rapper has pled not guilty to the 5 counts against him was racketeering. Racketeering is participation in a legal scheme under the Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Statute, or RICO, as a way for the U.S. government to prosecute organizations that contribute to criminal activity. Using RICO law, which is typically aimed at targeting multi-person criminal organizations, prosecutors allege that Combs coerced victims, some of whom they say were sex workers, through intimidation and narcotics to participate in freak-offs. My dad mentioned that he was still playing freak-offs leading to his arrest in the weeks coming to his arrest, or weeks leading up to his arrest, rather, he was still playing freak-offs. Yeah. Sometimes days-long sex performances that federal prosecutors allegedly have in video. How to stream the Diddy trial. The trial will not be televised, as cameras are not typically allowed in federal criminal trial proceedings. USA Today will be pouring live from the courtroom. Sign up for our newsletter for more updates. Contributing USA Today staff and rooters. If you are a survivor of sexual assault, RAIN offers support through the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-4673. That's 1-800-656-4673. That's 1-800-656-4673. And hotline.rain.org and in Espanol at rain.org/ES. If you're someone you know is a victim of DV, call the National DV hotline at 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233. That's 1-800-799-7233. We'll check START to 88788. That's START to 88788. START to 88788. So those are all the updates you need to know about the 31st day of the Diddy trial here that we are on Verge watching. Some dynamic video in here. Okay, trial. All right, here we go. Some dynamic video from ABC News here. Let's get with Aaron Katersky from ABC News here. Here we go.
America versus Sean Combs is now in the case of United States of America versus Sean Combs is now in the hands of a jury. 8 men and 4 women will decide 3 separate charges: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation for the purposes of prostitution. In a jury room like this, the jurors will be poring over their notes, the evidence, the testimony. The only question left, how long will it take to reach a verdict? For R&B singer R. Kelly, who was also indicted on federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, it took a jury 2 days to find him guilty of all 9 counts. For NXIVM leader Keith Raniere, who was on trial for racketeering, sex trafficking, conspiracy, and other crimes, it took jurors less than 5 hours to return an all-count guilty verdict. Ghislaine Maxwell, known for her association with sex offender and financier Jeffrey Epstein, the jury in her federal trial for sex trafficking and conspiracy, taking 5 days to find her guilty on most counts.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder.
Perhaps the most famous of all, the acquittal of O.J. Simpson for the murders of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown. The jury sequestered for the 8-month trial, taking just 4 hours to deliver a verdict in the trial of the century. Sean Combs has denied all the charges. He has maintained his innocence throughout. During deliberations, the jury is not sequestered. That's not really a thing here at federal court, where we're going to be on verdict watch for the foreseeable future.
Thank you, Aaron Kotarski, for sure. Let's get to the getting into what we do here. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. I was trying to get to the next thing. I think it was this one here. Yeah, okay, that's the one I was looking for. This one. Okay, my bad, y'all. Here we go.
Racketeering and sex crimes trial just got the case about 30 minutes ago.
It's a trial that has captivated much of New York City, much of the country, and if convicted, Combs could spend years behind bars. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live for us outside of the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with the latest. Kimberly.
And we're learning the first order of business is complete. The jury has picked its 4-person. We're told it's juror number 5, a 42-year-old nursing home aide from Manhattan. Unlike many other moments during this trial, which were...
So that is a black woman. Just want you guys to know about that. Queen Sheba broke that tea. So there you go with that.
Colorful and explicit. This morning it was tedious and detailed. At one point the judge joked he was going to try and make it interesting as he was reading. The judge spelled out legal definitions, what the 5 charges mean, and what the jury's responsibility is, telling the 8 men and 4 women they are, quote, the sole and exclusive judges of the facts. The Combs family is here. 6 of his 7 children sat in the second row, at times fidgeting and writing a notebook, passing it between each other. Combs' mother was at the end of the row. At 9:15 this morning, the judge began going over 2 documents. First, the jury charge, which he talked about the credibility of witnesses, presumption of evidence, the burden of proof. As for the verdict sheet, in terms of count 1, racketeering, the prosecution maintains from 2004 to 2024, Combs headed up a criminal organization, quote, Combs Enterprise. The judge detailed 8 acts that fall under that charge, telling jurors they only have to agree on 2 to find Combs guilty of that count. The judge made it a point to say when it comes to conspiracy, one's actions can speak louder than one's words. Testimony began May 12th. Combs did not take the stand. The judge told jurors this morning that was not unusual, that the defendant is presumed innocent. The other 4 counts have to do with transportation to engage in prostitution and sex trafficking, all tied to ex-girlfriends Cassie Ventura and another woman that testified under the name Jane. Prosecutors in closing arguments say Jane Combs did not act alone, rather relied on his innermost circle, what they called loyal lieutenants or foot soldiers. A lot of focus was on those so-called freak-offs or hotel nights, sometimes days-long sex-fueled sex sessions with paid male escorts and the women, sometimes videotaped. Combs allegedly used the footage as leverage, but the defense characterized Combs and Ventura's relationship as, quote, one of the great modern love stories. Though filled with jealousy, infidelity, and even domestic violence, the defense told the jury the women were willing participants in any and all sexual encounters. During the trial, attorneys said, you may think Combs is, quote, a jerk or mean, but he is not charged with that. The judge spent, again, roughly 2 hours this morning going over jury instructions and going over the verdict sheet. The case, again, is now in the hands of the jury. It is worth noting one other thing. Whatever happens here in Lower Manhattan, inside this federal courtroom on the 26th floor, Combs is facing dozens of civil lawsuits filed by men and women. For now, we're live in Lower Manhattan. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Kimberly, thank you for bringing us detail by detail. Now, stay with Eyewitness News throughout the deliberations. We'll break into programming as soon as we know a verdict has been reached. And at ABC7NY, you can sign up for breaking news alerts so you can be among the first to know the fate of Sean Diddy Combs.
All right, thank you very much, y'all. So here we go with this here. TMZ.
This is my dorm room.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
The jury has had the Diddy case for only a matter of an hour or two, and there is already strife. And we are going to talk about what this means. But short story, the jurors sent a note to the judge already saying that juror 25 cannot follow the judge's instructions. I think I know what that means.
It certainly sounds like most of the jury, 11 jurors, agree on what they want to do here.
At least on something. We don't know.
It could be just for one of the counts.
It could be for one of the counts. It could be for all of the counts.
Entire case.
It's weird that a couple hours in.
That they already send a note, because that means they're not even, there's no need for them to discuss anything. Like, we know this is what we want.
Feels like this guy's a holdout.
Right, and this one person is the holdout.
And so now the question, what does this mean?
Hey, I'm Aaron, and I'm going to help you save a ton of money running a ticketed event.
The only thing I can think of is if there are 11 people on one side, and again, we're guessing this.
Who very quickly know what they want to do.
Because if there were 5, why would they single out this one if 4 others felt the same way?
Right.
So it seems like this one guy feels differently from everybody else, and the everybody else part that has tried to convince this one guy, you got to look at the jury instruction, the judge's instructions,
right.
And the juror is saying, I don't care about the judge's instructions. At least that's the way the other 11 see it.
And it's not that he doesn't understand. We don't think it's that he doesn't understand the actual instructions, because what we know of his background from the jury selection process, he's a very educated man who's got a PhD in molecular biology. So
51-year-old white guy.
I don't think there's any.
I've so resisted guessing in this case, because you'd never know.
But because it's this quick.
It just feels like to me that this guy is saying, because it's the only thing that makes sense. I don't care what the judge is saying. I am not going to find Diddy guilty on whatever the charge is, whether it's racketeering or whatever else it is, because, for example, this feels like a bedroom police prosecution. It could be something that goes, this is called in the law, if this is the case, jury nullification, where a juror says, I don't care what the judge is telling me. The right thing to do is something else. That's what it's feeling like to me.
So if we were going to guess here, it's that the 11 are saying convict him on one of the counts.
That's what it feels like to me.
So when the note was handed to the judge explained what was going on to the prosecutors and to Diddy's defense. They all came up and had a meeting about this. What Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's co-lead attorney, said was, just tell them it's really early, Judge, and they should get back to figuring it out. If you're the defense and they send that note out this quickly,
it's bad news.
It's bad news.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
bad news.
Look, if the jury, if 11 people are saying one guy is just off the reservation, that can't be for acquittal. It just can't.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. There's a small chance. I tend to agree with you that a bunch of people are saying the government just didn't prove their case. And this one man is saying, I don't care. Diddy's a dangerous person,
Right, it
and I
doesn't
don't
make
want him on the
sense.
streets. That's possible as well, that he's a holdout for the prosecution. I agree it's more likely your scenario, but I could also see them saying, look, he shouldn't be on the streets, and I don't care what the hell Rico says. I'm convicting him no matter what.
And by the way, again, like I want to underscore what Charles is saying, even if we're right, this could be as to one count.
Right.
Could be as
Just
to all
one,
counts.
because
We
there's
don't
4
know.
counts, and
It's just
right.
shocking to me. Look, I covered
5 counts. So.
I covered the O.J. Simpson case, and it was a 9-month trial, and the jury took 2 hours. So, you know, this is actually a little more complicated because in O.J. it was just, did he do it or did he not?
Right.
You know, or was
Right.
a reasonable doubt. Here, there's RICO and there's sex trafficking and there's all this other stuff.
So I want to pause it here for a minute because they are absolutely right in what they're saying. The fact that the jury had to give a note to the judge of one of the jurors can't follow instructions, that's a problem, right? Because like I said before, is there something in the jury instructions that is complicated to understand? And also with that too, maybe they already have a verdict. Now they've only had the case for about an hour, right? So if it's 11 guilty and 1 holding out, or if it's 11 innocent but 1 holding out for guilty, we could be here until Friday, right? So it's jury watch rather. So literally we could be asleep and then the verdict is announced, right? So that could be a potential situation going down. So here we go.
So it's more complicated. It is just weird to me that they're coming in this quickly, this apparently unified.
Yeah.
Looking to add a profitable food service option? One pizza profits 50% or higher?
With the exception of one guy. It's kind of stunning to me.
Allie from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I think Diddy is going to be convicted on the RICO charge, particularly because he interfered his business and his personal gains for his personal gratification, for sexual gratification. Although this jury question is a bit concerning, I don't know. Are they hung on the reasonable doubt?
Well, the thing is, we don't know what this guy is doing.
Right. We don't know which way he's
I will
leaning.
say, just because the 11 people are saying he's not following instructions doesn't mean he's going to get kicked off. I mean, the judge is going to have a huge problem on appeal if he does that,
right?
Because then it's going to look like, the trial was rigged.
Right.
So the judge is going to be very slow to get rid of this guy. They may do some clarification, but I would be stunned if at this point, this early on,
the judge got to send them back and say, work
just
on this.
keep working on it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we will see. We're moving on.
Yes, to...
All right, so there is that there, everybody. All right, so for me to take out .com, everybody, for me to take out .com, 50 Cent's 50 Cent Diddy's lawyer did him dirty. Closing arguments for Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial wrapped last week, but 50 Cent doesn't think the disgraced music mogul's attorney did a good job. 50, we see each other. 50 Cent called out attorney Mark Agfanello's comments in his closing argument that Combs' ex, who testified under the pseudonym Jane, had the worst lawyer in the world after receiving low child support payments. Let's see here. Damn, they did dirty. Damn, they did dirty them closing statements. Man, I could have done better than that. How much he paying them lawyers? Jane Doe is rumored to be none other than 50 Cent's baby's mother, Daphne Jordan. We do not know that for sure. Okay, it's rumored, but we cannot confirm anything. Who also dated Diddy, was rumored to be on his payroll, partaking in regular freak-offs. She didn't have the best lawyer. You are the worst lawyer. 50 clapped back while captioning a picture of Mark Agfanello. Remember the name Mark Agfanello? He just got Diddy's ass 20 years. Oh, Lord. Diddy is currently awaiting the verdict from the jury. The bad boy boss has denied all allegations of sex trafficking or racketeering. He's hoping to be free from jail this week. Hoping to be free from jail this week. Hoping. Yes, indeed. There. So, child, we are on jury watch here. Here it is right here. Day trial judge hands case to the jury. Actions may speak louder than words. Jurors in the federal criminal trial Sean Diddy Combs in New York City are now deliberating after receiving instructions from Judge R. Sumerian for more than an hour Monday morning. After the jury of 8 men and 4 women were seated, Sumerian went through each of the charges. As the gallery looked on, telling jurors actions may speak louder than words. The judge told jurors they should decide for themselves how credible they found each witness. The evidence is the testimony. He said, while reminding the jurors to take note of the acts of everyone they considered to be participants in the event presented. Diddy is charged with racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He's pled not guilty to all charges. After 7 weeks of testimony, including from ex-girlfriends and former employees, the defense prosecution teams rested their cases Friday. Diddy declined to testify during the trial. The defense did not call any witnesses after closely cross-examining each of the prosecution's witnesses. So this is the jury room where they are right for this space right here, right now. The judge told the jury that witnesses who were given immunity should be examined with greater care than ordinary witnesses. He knows that certain witnesses were permitted to be identified by pseudonym, referred to Jane and Mia. That should bear on your evaluation of credibility. This judge is a legend. Like I said, he is going on a whole vacation after this. Judge Sumerian pointed out the defendant had no responsibility to testify. He must not attach any significance to that. They're still going to do that, but I get his point. Like, that was his right, and stick to the facts, but also that was a fact. The judge also addressed related activities brought up in the trial, including arson, bribery, witness tampering, and distribution of narcotics. He noted that, and he noted charge and summaries won't be available in the jury room, though each juror will have a copy of the judge's instructions with them. The judge told them, your verdict must be unanimous. They say they must not read any news reports about the trial, and then thank them for their service over the last 2 months. So there is that there. And then, of course, from the BBC here, the trial of American music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, not Google, but Apple, my bad. The trial of American music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, who is accused of running a sprawling sex trafficking operation, it's almost over. The 55-year-old was arrested last September and faces charges including racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He can be sentenced to life in prison if convicted. Mr. Combs has pled not guilty and denied all allegations against him. Dozens of prospective jurors were screened before being whittled down to 12, 6 alternates. During the trial, the jury has heard from 34 witnesses, including ex-girlfriends, former that Mr. Combs is the leader of a criminal enterprise who uses violence and fear in rebuttal crimes. Mr. Combs' defense team is expected to present the closing sentence Friday. After that, we'll go to the 12-member jury to decide the fate of the hip-hop mogul. Mr. Combs also faces dozens of civil lawsuits from individuals who accuse him of using his power to drug, assault, rape, intimidate, and silence people. He has said the individual lawsuits are attempts for payday. How can I follow the trial? The court is expected to be open to the public, but the proceedings will not be televised or streamed online. Cameras, phones, and electronic devices are normally not allowed in U.S. federal courtrooms. The trial proceedings began in early May with jury selection at the Daniel Patrick Moynihan Courthouse in Lower Manhattan. U.S. District Judge R. Sumerian told jurors that the trial could last around 8 weeks, which, I mean, this is the 7th week, so yeah, about right around that time. How the jurors selected? Dozens of potential jurors were fed by the court. The process included potential jurors looking through a long list of names of places and people that could be mentioned during trial, with names like Kanye West, Kid Cudi. The people and places list were so long that Judge Sumerian said he felt like he was reading an appendix for Lord of the Rings. Potential jurors had also had to fill out questionnaires that asked whether they had views about hip-hop artists or feelings about violence and sexual assault. The judge reminded the court several times of the importance of choosing a fair and impartial jury. Nearly all the potential jurors had read news reports of the allegations in the case and Many had seen footage of Mr. Combs kicking his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in the hotel hallway. What are the charges and allegations against Diddy? In the federal criminal case being heard in New York, Mr. Combs is charged with racketeer conspiracy, 2 charges of sex trafficking, 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. Many of the most severe allegations relate to the racketeer conspiracy charge. This includes accusations of kidnapping, drugging, coercing women into sexual activities, sometimes using firearms for threats of violence. In a raid on his Los Angeles mansion, police found supplies that they said were intended for use in cheese, also known as freakouts, including drugs, more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Mr. Combs faces a number of lawsuits accusing him of rape and assault. Tony Busby, a Texas lawyer handling some of the cases, said that more than 100 women and men from across the United States have either filed lawsuits against the rap mogul or attempted to do so. 2023, a woman known in court papers as Jane Doe alleged she was gang raped by Mr. Combs and others in 2003 when she was 17. She said that she was given copious amounts of drugs and alcohol before the attack. Mr. Combs' legal team dismissed the flurry of lawsuits as clear attempts to garner publicity. Well, there is a trial going on. Mr. Combs' current legal issues began in late 2023 when he was sued by Ms. Ventura, also known as Cassie, for violent abuse and rape. That lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed amount a day after it was filed, with Mr. Combs maintaining his innocence. Since then, dozens of other people have filed lawsuits accusing Mr. Combs of sexual assault, with accusations dating back to 1991. He denies all the claims. This controversial history with Ms. Ventura resurfaced in 2024 when CNN published leaked closed circuit television footage from 2016 showing Mr. Combs kicking his ex-girlfriend as she lay down on a hotel hallway floor. He apologized for his behavior, saying, "I take full responsibility for my actions in that way. I was disgusted then, but I doubt I'm disgusted now." What has Diddy said about the charges against him? In a statement to the BBC about the federal criminal charges, Mr. Combs' lawyer said, "In court, the truth will prevail. Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or trafficked any man, woman, adult, or minor." Diddy's lawyers later filed a motion to dismiss one part of the federal indictment in which he is accused of transportation to engage in prostitution. His team argued that he was being unfairly targeted due to his race. In a hearing in New York a week before the trial officially began, his attorneys told the court that the rapper led the lifestyle of a swinger was not criminal. They said he thought it was inappropriate to have multiple sex partners, including sex workers. At the same hearing, prosecutors revealed that Mr. Combs had rejected a plea deal. Mr. Combs' lawyers have consistently denied the allegations made against him in the civil lawsuits, described them as sickening and suggested they were made by individuals looking for a payday. How long could Diddy spend in jail if he's found guilty? So this is where he is being held, right here at this jail. It looks like a hotel from the outside, but really it's a jail. If convicted on the racketeering charge, Mr. Combs faces up to life in prison. If he faces another statutory minimum sentence of 15 years if he's found guilty of sex trafficking. Transportation for purposes of prostitution carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. Mr. Combs has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, since his arrest on September 16, 2024. So this is the Metropolitan Detention Center right here. Critics describe the prison as overcrowded, understaffed, with a culture of violence. Lawyers argue for his release to sign the jail's horrific conditions, but a New York federal judge denied the bail request, describing Mr. Combs as serious flight risk. Prosecutors previously alleged that Mr. Combs had broken prison rules by contacting potential witnesses. There was that one person that he contacted 54 times in one day. They accused him of relentless efforts to corruptly influence witness testimony. A judge granted Mr. Combs permission to wear non-prison clothing during his trial rather than the jumpsuits he wears in jail. When he appeared in court for jury selection, the rapper wore a blue sweater and white shirt with glasses over his head. How did Sean Combs become so successful? Mr. Combs, who has also gone by the names Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love, Brother Love, emerged in the hip-hop scene in the 1990s. His early music career success included helping launch the careers of Mary J. Blige and Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie Smalls, and Notorious B.I.G. His music label Bad Boy Records became one of the most important labels in rap and expanded to include Faith Evans, Mace, 112, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez. Mr. Combs Also had a prolific business career outside music, including a deal with British drinks company Diageo to promote the French vodka brand of Ciroc and also 2 De Leon tequila. In 2023, he released his 5th record, the Love album Off the Grid, earned his first solo nomination at the Grammys. He was also named Global Icon at the MTV Awards. So there is that there, y'all. That is pretty much everything that you need to know. Happy Linnell Stiller, good to see you there. So yeah, that is everything, you guys. Oh, geez, I thought this would charge already. But yes, indeed, y'all. So that's pretty much the show. I'm just here chilling out with y'all. I probably will do the Daily Motivator here in a little bit. I just want to chill out with y'all for just a little bit. At least give y'all 4 hours until I cut off my camera back or something. But yes, indeed, we are in jury watch. So as soon as we know, we will bring it to you live. Okay, and that can happen at any time. That can literally happen while I'm covering the Real Housewives of Atlanta at 8:30. That could literally happen. So please be on alert. Okay, please be on alert. Just keeping it a buck. Yes, indeed. Okay, we good. We are good, y'all. It's been an interesting journey with Diddy, for sure, on this trial. It's been a very, very, very interesting journey. For damn sure. So let me see if there's anything new. Like I said, Queen Sheba said it's a black woman who is going to be the lead juror, right? So, oh, wait a minute. Hang on. This is a new update. Hang on. Let's watch this here.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter delivers candidates with the right skills and experience fast.
Now to the first day of deliberations in the sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Minutes ago, jurors sent their 3rd note of the day to the judge.
And right now, we're all just waiting and watching to see exactly what that note says. We know, meanwhile, this unfolded in the courtroom today. It's a sketch of Mr. Combs holding up a note to one of his attorneys, but it was a note number 2 from the jury that is causing quite a stir today. Jurors raising questions about one of their own.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live in Lower Manhattan now with more on this day of drama. Kimberly.
Well, and you guys mentioned that 3rd note. It came in roughly hour 5 of deliberations. Everybody's in the courtroom right now, and as soon as we learn more, we will bring it to you. But this morning, after the jury cleared the courtroom, Sean Combs and his family gathered in prayer, holding hands for a few minutes. At the end, they applauded and spoke for some time. Now, it's a waiting game. Monday afternoon, the matriarch of the Combs family, Janice Combs, left federal court in Lower Manhattan during a lunch break. Her son Sean's fate now in the hands of a jury. Day 1 of deliberations began at about 11:30 a.m. The judge reminded jurors they are the, quote, sole and exclusive judges of the facts. Once behind closed doors, the jury of 8 men and 4 women picked a 4-person who, roughly 70 minutes in, sent a note to the judge reading, quote, "We are concerned Juror 25 cannot follow your honor's instructions," suggesting the judge speak with that juror. That person is a 51-year-old man, a scientist, who originally said he was familiar with the allegations. In the end, the judge said the issue was not of concern and directed the jury to continue deliberating. Considered one of the most successful producers and entrepreneurs in the hip-hop industry, prosecutors paint a...
Clive Davis found Whitney Houston. Actually, it was a black man that found Whitney Houston, but Clive Davis didn't make Whitney Houston, but laid the foundation for the Whitney Houston that we know. So Clive Davis is a bigger deal than P. Diddy. I said it, rolling on. Actually, Gary Gordy created Motown. The fuck? Rolling on.
Picture of the 55-year-old. They say for 2 decades, Combs headed up a criminal organization prosecutors called, quote, Combs Enterprise, in which he, quote, abused, threatened, and coerced women into having sex with paid male escorts. 2 main prosecution witnesses, Combs' ex-girlfriends, Cassie Ventura, seen here with him in 2016, and a woman who testified under the name Jane. The government says those in Combs' innermost circle, so-called, quote, loyal lieutenants and foot soldiers, cater to his every whim. Throughout the 7 weeks of testimony, jurors heard about and watched videos of so-called freak-offs or hotel nights, sometimes days-long drug-fueled sex sessions. But Combs insists he's innocent, that any and all sexual encounters were consensual. Now, there are 5 alternate jurors. The judge did send them home today, but they are not dismissed. They're essentially on standby for if and when they are needed. Again, that third note coming today during the roughly 5th hour of deliberations. When we find more information, we will bring it to you. For now, we're live in Lower Manhattan. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
And Kimberly, to that point, just seconds ago as you were speaking, we understand the third note from the jury is a question about the distribution of a controlled substance. So they're working through that now. How do they answer? Lawyers talking about it, the judge talking about it. As more developments happen, of course, we'll let you know, Tanya.
So there you go there. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there. I see TV is live. Love that sister right there. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Yes, indeed. Come on now. Okay, I'm trying to get the fact that I'm on the Eyewitness News YouTube channel. Come on now. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. So I'm gonna turn on my camera now because we know how to show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Woo, man. So we are on jury watch, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, the verdict can happen at any time. The 5th hour of deliberation, as you saw there from Eyewitness News. That video just got uploaded, as you can see right here, 1 hour ago, right there, 1 hour ago. So it is live in real time, ladies and gentlemen, that we're on jury watch. So yes, indeed. So yeah. So we'll take a little commercial break, and we'll be back with more Brainley's Virtual Tour live after this. We are live on tour once again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Rolling.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams. beyond this.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination, an experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
There's really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward.
With the hope that it will.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
Leggies.
Got one right now. The urge to pop that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day: what we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
I got a question for you. What does this city know about luxury? Huh? What does a town that's been to hell and back know about the finer things in life? Well, I'll tell you, more than most. You see, it's the hottest fires that make the hardest steel. Add hard work and conviction, and the know-how that runs generations deep in every last one of us. That's who we are. That's our story. Now, it's probably not the one you've been reading in papers, the one being written by folks who've never even been here and don't know what we're capable of. Because when it comes to luxury, it's as much about where it's from as who it's for. Now, we're from America, but this isn't New York City, or the Windy City, or Sin City, and we're certainly no one's Emerald City.
This is the Motor City. And this is what we do.
I'm loving it. I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Braylon's virtual tour live. Glad to have all of you here. Yes, you see Braylon Lee right there, ladies and gentlemen. You see right there on the Eyewitness News YouTube channel right there. Yes, indeed. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, I'm on a YouTube channel with 2,630,000 subscribers. That's not too bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's not too bad for a Monday, right? Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have all of you here. Yes, indeed, we are live. It is Jury Watch. The jury got their instructions today. There's one juror, Juror 25, who is a white male who got a PhD in biology, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So the jury is worried that he cannot understand the jury instructions. There was a third note given to the judge, and the alternate jurors are not done yet. The alternate jurors got sent home, but they're not off the trial just yet. So last time we saw this clip here, it was the 5th hour of deliberation. So it's going to take a minute, y'all. I've been saying this from the time this trial has popped off. In the court of public opinion, he is guilty. But in the court of law, we got to see it through. And I thank you guys so much for the 4 likes. Much love to you all. Like I said, I think that's what it is. In the court of public opinion, he's guilty as fuck. But in the court of law, we got to see it through, right? So, you know, we talked about, there was a report from the takeout saying that there may be a 4th of July party in Miami. Allegedly. We don't know until they give the verdict, right? So, you know. And shout out to Queen Sheba. She did say that it was a black woman who is the lead juror. So when it comes to Judge Sumerian, the U.S. District Judge R.N. Sumerian, asking the jury, have you reached a verdict? That black woman say, we have, Your Honor. What do you find in the Ital count racketeering? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. That's what people are hoping for, but then again, we don't know until they make it do what it do. So we are live on tour here, just chilling out just for a little bit. That was a new clip there that came out about an hour ago. So let me see if there's anything else popping up here. So like I said, we got Aroa tonight as well. So we got a lot to cover, y'all. Like I said, I can only imagine, you know, the content creators, the journalists, the correspondents, the social media producers, and everybody that has been outside this courtroom. I imagine that there is, you know, DoorDash and Uber Eats orders coming down the street. Hey, who ordered pizza? Hey, motherfucker, right here, I ordered deep dish, motherfucker. I think that's some peppers and sausage there. I think that's my pizza there. Nothing but love to New York, okay? Nothing but love to New York. But sincerely, I really do believe there are DoorDash and Uber Eats orders coming down the way. Shout out to Pop Chew, by the way. It is a smash burger place there in New York. By the way, shout out to Harlem Shake as well. So I'm sure that a lot of local businesses are getting a lot of mobile orders. for sure. I'm sure that there's mobile to-go cocktails. Can you make it extra strong? So yes, indeed, we are live on tour, just chilling out here. Like I said, I'll be here for at least a little bit longer if y'all got any questions or anything. But yeah, we are in jury watch right now until they say something. You know what I mean? Until they reach a verdict, rather than me not say something, but until they reach a verdict, we are in what it is, y'all. So.
Oh, well, Lord.
You know what I cannot wait for? I cannot wait for, the Hulu, series, limited series that's going to come. Can't wait for the Diddy Do It. The Netflix docu-series, 50 Cent. Let's look at this here. Hang on.
We've had like 1,000 meetings about this website refresh. I'm not going to be able to get everything straight before the next check-in. Have you tried the AI meeting agent from Otter?
You back in your bag.
I'm back in my
Stay
bag.
in your bag. Stay in
Like
your bag.
you could fall out your bag, but you could get back in it though too.
So let's look at the comments section and see it right here. Are you toxic? Yes. This is set at his house. How can he speak about his daughters with love and respect? Now we know now we know how he treats women. Wonder how his daughters how he'd feel if his daughters end up with a boyfriend like him, who coerced into sexual deviancy, and they were just there to serve their boyfriend. Wonder how he feel about himself. Found sex with both of his daughters in the same situation he pushed the other women to. He scumballed the bottom of the barrel. Scum of society, where women are just sex toys for men to take what they want. Scumbag. He stayed behind bars so women in the music industry and everywhere else are safe from this predator. Ringmaster, this is too much. Apparently that is Young Miami and Diddy. This is not let's keep reading these comments here. Ringmaster, this is too much. Too bad his life turned out the way it did. He seemed like he'll be a fun guy to hang out with. What a shame. Now calling Frank Love to the stand, Your Honor. Nice. At what time was he doing his freak off 3 days in a row by recovering my IVs and still being a father? Ooh, Lord. Hope her life doesn't turn out to be messed up because of her involvement with Diddy, Sean Combs, and she knows that he is secretly gay. Good Lord, she's dumb. Sorry, I just don't think it's sexy or attractive to cuss from the ghetto, and for him to have daughters and be abusive, gross. He's just sitting there talking out the side of his neck. Yeah, you want him to act like a white man. No, we just want him to be responsible for what he does. Whether you're black or white, you should be responsible for what you do. Diddy likes this woman. This interview's a mess. He's so ignorant, higher than a kite. Why would he say the girls are karma? The what the hell? Slant face emoji. Probably the stupidest conversation I've heard, read, and loved again. Dude's the worst kind of criminal. Everything except make robbery. This podcast is so whack. Carisha, stop. You're not good whatsoever. Go back to getting pissed on Real Talk. These two are a mess. This is painful. Watch Dumber and Dumber. I'm 1147 adds up. Just seeing this video, the answer to her questions. He never got married because he's gay. But to stop toxicity. He doesn't like women. He doesn't like women. He abuses them. He likes to manipulate and abuse the young women, but have babies by the older women. I truly think Carisha ran Diddy. No, Mother Ucka, no, I'm not doing that. I do not want to be so naive. Ends with money. It's evil. The money runs out. I've been there. So there is that. Child, listen. There's a lot going on. Let's look at this too. Now, this is from the Wendy archive. Now, I'm not gonna play the
What's the tea?
I'm not gonna play the whole video because we don't know if this is still Deborah Mercury or not. But let's look at the comments up to this point. Let's see. She literally hit the nail on the head. Wendy was and / is so ahead of her time, truly. Talking about Puffy sitting down, selling down to 68, and one day needed help with his applesauce. Say what? So Wendy was never impressed by him. You hear the smirk in her voice. Everything Wendy says after Puff was on her show, I feel like she was trying. She didn't need to go around throwing shade at him, but all of a sudden she cleaned her way of speaking when speaking with him. How she keeps saying that she doesn't want to mess things up for him, speaking truth since when. Damn, Wendy knew everything was telling all as it was. It's ironic that they wanted to get rid of Wendy or shut her down, but also wanted to humanize himself and present on the Wendy Williams show. Yep. Facts. Just, I mean, you see 3,048 comments right there. 3,048 comments. Almost 1 million views on that. With that being said, let me go back.
Are you looking for more in this world? Are you ready to be part of something bigger? A door is opening for you in more than 60.
So here is
Please welcome.
So this actually happened. Right here. This actually happened. So this actually happened right here on her couch. This actually happened. Let's see what the comments are saying. Who else is watching this during the 4th day of the day trial? YouTube is messy. Recommended me this video. Look at us. Look at all of those messy people gathered here during Day's trial. This interview really hit different in 2024. Who came to watch because of the raid on Day's homes? The way Wendy stuttered when Diddy met her, said he met her son when he was so uncomfortable during this interview. Everything has been hidden in plain sight. Yeah, I know. Who else is watching this in September 2024 after everything has gone down? Wendy Williams, you will be missed on our TV screens. YouTube is so messy. Recommended this. Diddy was looking at Wendy like, don't get crazy with these questions. Well, you're on her show. Like, what did you want? What did you want her to do? Who's here during the trial? You see how he was giving her that he read it to the script, basically letting her know, don't fuck with me. I really miss Wendy Williams. She would have field day with the day headline. She's been hinting at for years. Yes, indeed. So yeah, here we go here. From Watch Mojo here. Let's see.
Did it? No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at interviews with Sean Diddy Combs that the interviewers likely regret, especially in light of everything we now know about the disgraced music mogul.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Key to throwing a puffy party. Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
This is my man. We go way back, but he hasn't told y'all that. We'll talk about that later. We go way back.
Conan O'Brien has conducted his fair share of interviews with celebrities who would later become infamous for heinous crimes, such as convicted actor Danny Masterson.
I've heard about you. And you'll be caught soon. I know.
In 2002, Sean Diddy Combs sat down for an interview with the Irish funny man. A curious Conan asked about the secret to throwing a legendary puffy party.
Now, you're legendary for the parties that you throw.
Mm-hmm.
You throw a great party.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Diddy's list included beautiful women, handsome men, booze, water, and, quote, locks on the doors.
Right.
You need locks on the doors?
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Conan, known for his playful banter and quick wit, likely regrets bringing up Diddy's notorious parties, especially now that they are at the center of his current federal charges.
Everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
It depends on the way you look at it.
Great Young Man, The Wendy Williams Show.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Wendy Williams and Diddy have a rocky history, to put it mildly, but they have been able to put their differences aside for various interviews over the years.
You are exhausting me. Let me tell you something. This week has been hella exhausting.
However, in 2017, things turned awkward on Wendy's daytime talk show when they discussed Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who was 16 at the time. While promoting his film Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Diddy emphasized it wasn't about money, but about telling a positive story for Black men and women.
I just felt like us as African-American men and women, we needed to have a story that had a happy ending, a success story.
As the crowd applauded, Williams referred to her son. It's then that Diddy mentioned meeting Kevin backstage, calling him, quote, a great young man.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who I met backstage,
He did?
He's a great young man.
Williams' reaction, however, suggested she was less than pleased and likely regretted the whole thing. Rumor check. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Late night TV thrives on creating viral moments, but we'd bet Jimmy Kimmel regrets trying to spark one during his 2023 interview with Diddy. Just before Cassie Ventura filed her shocking lawsuit against the rapper, Kimmel brought up a rumor tied to the release of Jada Pinkett Smith's memoir. The rumor claimed that Will and Jada wanted to have a threesome with Jennifer Lopez, who was dating Diddy at the time, and that Diddy had allegedly threatened to beat up Will Smith over it. Naturally, Kimmel asked Diddy about it.
That when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Combs initially shot him a cold stare, but quickly laughed it off, seemingly denying the gossip.
I love, though. That's not true.
You really heard that?
What? Yeah.
However, in light of recent allegations, this exchange now feels rather uncomfortable.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this?
The Party King, Entertainment Tonight. Imagine being assigned to interview Diddy for Entertainment Tonight in the late 90s when the rapper was known as the, quote, king of the party scene. Well, someone had that job in 1999, and they likely regret portraying Combs as the ultimate host and promoting his now notorious parties.
Your parties are the hottest ticket in town. People dying to get into your party. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's cool.
In that interview, Diddy hinted at his future legal issues, admitting he couldn't get a permit for his parties but would throw them anyway.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more.
He even joked that authorities might one day arrest him for simply trying to, quote, have a good time.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know.
Fast forward 25 plus years, and Diddy now faces serious charges, including sex trafficking related to his alleged freak-off parties.
He's accused of trafficking women and male sex workers to perform depraved freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties for his own twisted enjoyment.
A close camaraderie. Late Show with David Letterman.
That is a very, very nice haircut that you're sporting lately. Since the time I've kind of...
Hey, beautiful. Long time no see. I hope all is well. Good to see you. Good to see you. That's my friend. That's one of my good friends. That's one of my good friends. Good to see you. I love you as always, my friend. We're just here chilling. We're on jury watch for the Diddy trial. We've been covering it every single day. Right here live at 6 o'clock, and we are on jury watch. So just kind of giving everybody the jury deliberation, the jury instructions, and, just listening for anything. It's first day. I'm sure we'll probably get something by Wednesday, no later than Thursday, Friday at the latest. So it's going to take a couple of days for them to get through it. But right now, welcome in. Glad to have you. Good to see you, my friend. So right now we are watching Miss Mojo with 8 interviews, the 8-day interviews. The interview will probably progress.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Sean Diddy Combs is clearly no stranger to
and male sex workers to perform depraved freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties for his own twisted enjoyment.
A close camaraderie. Late Show with David Letterman.
That is a very, very nice haircut that you're sporting lately. Since the time I've gotten
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Sean Diddy Combs is clearly no stranger to talk shows, and as such, has made numerous appearances on David Letterman's now defunct Late Night Chat show. During his appearances, the pair always exchanged mutual respect on air, with both offering plenty of compliments.
You look tremendous. You look great. I mean, it's a beautiful suit. And are you going somewhere after this? Or you just is that just for us?
Coming to see you, Dave.
I appreciate it.
Their conversations often took unexpected turns, such as when Diddy mentioned doing, quote, video blogs, with the first one reportedly featuring him, quote, urinating.
Hilarious. It's just me waking up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
My first one was me urinating.
In hindsight, this friendly camaraderie is likely a regret for Letterman, especially given the serious accusations against Diddy today. It's easy to imagine the legendary host wishing he hadn't appeared so close to someone now facing such serious legal issues.
He whistles in my ear, he says, "Where's Beyonce?"
Really? Really? Wow.
Provocative entertainment, The Howard Stern Show.
And here's the thing, y'all, I want y'all to know about this, right? Is that at the beginning, middle, end of the day, these interviewers, they did their job, right? Diddy back then was one of the biggest celebrities known to the world, right? So whenever he had a new album, whenever he had a new movie, TV show, whatever the hell, it would be, he would go on and promote himself, right? So, I don't think the interviewer should really be dragged for doing their job.
Who are we kidding? Howard Stern likely regrets a lot of his interviews from the past. Diddy is just one of them. On one uncomfortable occasion, Howard Stern and his co-host Robin Quivers pressed Diddy about his high-profile relationship with Jennifer Lopez. A caller even brought up Lopez's famous backside, which Diddy acknowledged but seemed eager to move on from.
It's somebody else's ass now.
Anyway.
However, Stern and Quivers didn't let up, bringing up rumors of Diddy's infidelity and Lopez's eventual engagement to Ben Affleck.
This girl gets married every year.
In fact, she had a longer relationship with you than she had with any of her husbands.
Yeah.
Of course, explicit details and candid revelations are typical for Stern's controversy-heavy format.
Whenever
How do you work it?
with them, how do you filter?
Do you ever make them sign a release form before they bang you, or do you ever have like a witness in the room while you're banging these chicks?
However, Stern likely regrets the probing entertainment now, knowing the serious and sinister allegations Diddy is facing.
No, he did call me. He called me to come to his party.
Because that was where I saw Star Jones trying to eat Kim Cattrall.
Royal guest list.
Whoa! You mean Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City? Wait, no, Robin, hang on, what?
No, he did call me. He called me to come to his party.
Because that was where I saw Star Jones trying to eat Kim Cattrall.
Royal.
What? One more time, Robin?
To come to his party.
Because that was where I saw Star Jones trying to eat Kim Cattrall.
Royal guest list. The Graham Norton Show. It seems everyone was fascinated with Diddy and his parties, and Graham Norton was no exception. However, the British chat host likely regrets his curiosity about Diddy's party guest list, especially now that numerous attendees have come forward with allegations of abuse.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul is facing a series of new civil lawsuits, including allegations he sexually assaulted 2 teenagers.
During a 2011 interview, Norton asked about a rumor that Diddy wanted Princes William and Harry to attend one of his soirees.
Not anymore. I mean, before,
Don't ruin our royal wedding for us.
Trust me, they're off the list.
Diddy talked about wanting to party with the princes when they were, quote, young bucks, and implied they'd be interested because of their reputation for mischief.
Before, when they were young bucks growing up, and they were getting in a lot of trouble themselves, so hey, I was like, why don't you come hang out with me?
In hindsight, this discussion of mingling with powerful figures now feels like an unsettling display of influence.
I can just go over for some tea or something and we could kick it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Party time, the Ellen DeGeneres Show.
Hello, Diddy, Puppy Daddy, Combs.
Hey.
Love.
We're not gonna lie. If you had told us that Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres would be considered problematic figures by 2024, we would not have believed you. But here we are. Looking back at their past interactions is eye-opening, however.
Is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that?
You see, Diddy appeared on Ellen's show several times, and his notorious parties were often a topic of conversation. In fact, Ellen even invited him to one of her own.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
There were also plenty of awkward discussions, including one about how Diddy was reportedly said to have lent his Miami mansion to Chris Brown, allegedly to help him reconcile with Rihanna.
If I could be there as a friend during hard times, then I'm gonna be there as a friend.
Right.
But I don't know the exact particulars. I didn't get into it. I'm not gonna do this or do that. It was a dark time for them, and I was there more as a support.
But it's Ellen's admiration of Diddy and his party lifestyle that comes off as the most uncomfortable in hindsight, and we'd wager she regrets it all.
And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then No, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them.
Which interview with Diddy sends you into cringe overdrive? Share your unease in the comments below.
In this newly resurfaced viral video.
When I die, I want my last words to be, I did it.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Yeah, if you need some content, Watch Mojo always has some good content on that. Always has some good content on that. Let's see if anything new is happening with the jury deliberations. I'm sure probably nothing right now. The fact they still have that Carisha interview up is crazy with Diddy. All right, here's some new intel, y'all. Here we go. 611.
Monday afternoon, the latest, asking the judge for clarification on the law when it pertains to some of the drug distribution evidence that was presented in court. The other, a little bit more concerning to all parties involved, specifically about a juror who wasn't following the letter of the law. Drama in the jury room on day 1 of deliberations in the Sean Combs trial. Barely an hour into the panel of 8 men and 4 women meeting behind closed doors, the 4-person sending a letter to the judge at 12:30, writing in part that one of the jurors cannot follow your instructions.
It's really unusual for after 1 hour to get a note like that.
The juror in question is a white male from Manhattan, 51 years old, and told the court during jury selection he was a scientist. Retired Judge Barry Kamens believes the defense would object to having the juror dismissed after all this time.
If this is someone who's sticking to their guns and not agreeing with a lot of what the other jurors are saying, that's the kind of person that the defense wants.
After conferring with the parties, including Diddy, the judge sent a letter back reminding jurors to deliberate and follow the letter of the law he gave them Monday morning. The 12-member jury has been tasked with sifting through a mountain of evidence and testimony presented during the 7-week trial in Manhattan. Combs has been charged in a 5-count indictment, including sex trafficking, prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy.
If they get any acquittal, it would be on that RICO. I think they'll get the sex trafficking as it relates to Cassie. And I think they'll get the transportation to engage in prostitution for both of them.
On Diddy's current mindset, a source on his team speaking with him over the weekend telling me he realizes many people in jail don't have family or support and that his family means the world to him. Sean hopes to make this up to them, and he's remaining committed to his faith and staying positive. And there was one private moment in court that we saw between Combs and his family. They all joined hands, bowed their heads, and began to pray before breaking out into applause. Combs has said that he is not guilty to all of the charges. The jury will be back here on Tuesday morning to resume deliberations. In Lower Manhattan, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
All right, so no bird.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Sling lets you do that.
I wish my TV provider let me pause my subscription when I want.
Sling lets you do that, Clock Boy.
And I wish my TV provider gave me hundreds of free channels when I pause.
Sling lets you do that too.
Choose and customize your channel lineup or pause and watch for free. Sling lets you do that.
So a cute commercial there. But yeah, so basically tomorrow, Tuesday morning, will be jury watch once again. So of course we'll be back here. And if anything happens, I'll find a way to tell y'all about it. Of course. So but yeah, y'all, we are just here chilling as the fireworks are going off behind us here. And always remember the words of Anonymous T. Let me bring her up. Shout out to Anonymous T, by the way. Really good content career. Like I said, in the words of Anonymous T.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Oh, I love me some Anonymous T. Child, as soon as she did that, I'm like, oh, let me work some Braylon Leaf magic on that. And y'all saw I gave credit to Anonymous T. So anytime I play that, she will always get credit. Just use it as my card of, hey, guess what? You can't play this if you don't do actual factual smactual content. So there it is. And by the way, here's the thing, right? When it comes to content creation, because it's so funny when people, write checks that their ass can't cash. You take other people's, news stories and, talk about. I'm like, well, what's today? What's the Today Show? What's Good Morning America? What's CBS Mornings, right? People are moving to YouTube and social media for their news. So yes, we are able to get the news out in a quicker fashion than having to wait at 7 a.m. for Good Morning America, right? So, now if you're just reading the news, then okay, you're just reading the news. But if you are reading the news and then afterward giving commentary, because for all that Fox News is, right? I'll give them this. They are very consistent with their program, right? In the mornings and the afternoons, they have their news side of programming. And then the evening, they have their cultural side of programming, right? So let's just say if CNN or MSNBC wanted to get Braylon's virtual tour, well, guess what? I would be more on the commentary side. Now, that doesn't mean I can't just read the news and ask the questions that need to be asked, because I'm multi-flexible, right? But in the same token, like, people have legit done news shows on here. Like, you got Don Lemon on here. Now, after CNN, you got Chris Cuomo with the Chris Cuomo Project. So you do have, independent personalities from Lexi Media recognizing, oh my God, YouTube, I am free to talk about anything within reason. And not to mention, too, they have a base that can quickly gain more traction than somebody like me starting out. So, when Tisha Tells got on ABC News Live, when Armand Wiggins got on Way Up with Angela Yee, those are wins, right? Because I think during the Johnny Depp trial, I think it was an article I read during the Johnny Depp trial, that content creators really wasn't, praised. But now it's a whole different vibe, because believe me, I would not be surprised if, one day soon you'll see, live from the Manhattan courthouse, content creator Braylon Lee for ABC News. Like, I would not be surprised of that if NBC News, CBS News, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, MSNBC, CNN, I would not be surprised, live from Dubai, I'm Braylon Lee, content creator for CNN. Like that is going to be the future of reporting. That yes, you will have your correspondents, yes, you will have your reporters, but you also have content creators that they can give a little more sauce on a story than a journalist or a reporter, right? So, with that being said, let's make it do what it do here. Yes, indeed, and get y'all the Daily Motivator. Then head on out of here, and then of course, as you guys know, we got Roa come up tonight, and child, we got so much to talk about with Roa. Oh my lord, I mean, good damn. That was a season finale for sure. If you can find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead to anywhere. Frank A. Clark, absolutely. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Monday, June 30th, 2025. Live it well. The day is yours. Treat it with the respect it deserves as the valuable opportunity it is. Begin with gratitude for the good fortune of being able to live and take action on this day, then put that good fortune to use as each moment arrives. Let it find you adding value to your world as each hour departs. Carry forward from it something meaningful that will endure. Refuse to waste even a fraction of the day on spite, anger, resentment, or anything else that will bring you down. Embrace the opportunity to create meaningful richness from whatever circumstances you encounter. Seek out beauty, good people, great ideas, transformative energy, situations where you can make a positive difference. Dive deeply and eagerly into the possibilities that permeate to this day. The day is yours. You know, like I said, this trial has really been such a taxing trial. And I think every day that we've covered it live at 6 o'clock, even on the off day that we did it, we had like a check-in, right? And even with that breaking news of the article of that someone got out, right, from the courtroom, we've always tried to live it well with the Diddy trial, in addition to 90 Day Fiance, Hunt for Love, in addition to the Never Ever Mets, in addition to Roa, right? We try to give you, you know, complimentary programming where it's not like, oh damn, okay, this is not just a Diddy channel. I got la-di-da-di everybody over here. So the first thing I would say about live it well is that I'm gonna like this. What you put on a Christmas tree depends on how you view it. So if you put ugly things on the Christmas tree, it's gonna be an ugly Christmas tree. You put beautiful things on, it's gonna be beautiful. So that's the first thing I'll say about live it well. The second thing I'll say about live it well is this: refuse to waste even a fraction of the day on spite, anger, resentment, or anything else that will bring you down. I will say this: there's a difference between that and handling business and saying what needs to be said. Because like I said, whatever we don't confront, we allow. Sometimes people will allow lies because they don't confront the truth, right? So there is that. And finally, the last thing I'll say here is that you have so many great things to do. Don't forget that you have great things to do. I don't care how rough life gets, you always have great things to do. The fact that you are above ground is a great thing to do in terms of living your best life. So with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you are always born a blessing and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why is one thing to call yourself, is another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we'll also be great together. And always remember, where you're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you are getting ready to witness potentially a new industry emerging from a trial that set off an industry. Make sure the replay is not just right for you to watch it, not just right for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. Always remember, receive love, God, give, receive love, God, give, receive love, God, give. Wherever obstacles you've overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is probably be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, listen. Always give your best energy, because I haven't seen Miss Denise in my chat in a very, 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 very long time. But just because you don't see people don't mean they're not watching you. That don't mean they're not believing you. That doesn't mean they're not praying for you in the background. And by the way, just a pro tip, be be careful who you allow into your circle to pray for you, because there are some people that will pray on you and not pray for you. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessing that on way for you, me, all of us, for us as society, as people, as culture. I feel love is right back to you. Like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. One love, much love, all love. Good evening to you all. Good morning, good afternoon, based on your location. This is your final tour for the evening. Good evening to you. But if not, I'll see you back here at 8:30 for Roa. We are doing it live tonight, everybody. One love, much love, all love. I feel love is right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort. where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.